everyone to Straight Talk with Chilia. Today we have a guest with us, and his resume is so long. I'm going to read for you in an abbreviated version. So I want to introduce you to Garth, and just a little bit about Garth. I want you to meet Garth. He hails all the way from vibrant shores of Barbados. He is the founder of the Daily Gratitude Movement on the Clubhouse app. He's also a certified empowerment coach and trainer with Tony Robbins. He's also the author of the book Gratitude Transform, which you'll hear a little bit more about. And he's like also comma, comma, comma. So there's a lot more coming. Garth, Garth's influence is further extended through media appearances, including interviews on CBC and the Dr. Joy Show, as well as co-hosting the premium match show on CBS Radio. He's also a regular contributor to the Positive Impact magazine and a respected guest speaker at events like the Lifestyle Medicine Summit. That's interesting. His, his multimedia includes the Finding Your Love Now podcast and the thoughts become things. That's really good. I like that. God
Hmm.
shares transformative insight that marries the power of gratitude and actionable strategies for personal growth. This is where he got me, y'all. I love the personal growth piece. So thank you for joining us, Garth, and for exploring with us how simple acts of gratitude can lead to extraordinary outcome in every aspects of life, which includes ways to break through fear with gratitude. And that's why we're here today. So I'm so excited that you said yes.
Yeah, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful to be here, and I will do my best. It's always It's always fun listening to people read your some of your accomplishments,
Hmm.
and I'm like, wow, did those things. But yeah, I am more or less just a guy, just trying to enjoy life and doing the best I can.
Well,
And
I'm glad.
yeah.
Well, we met at I was going to say Girl Power Summit, but no, that's not the Girl Power, the Destiny Ignite in St. Lucia.
Yes,
So
that's
just
correct.
meeting you, and you were a speaker there, and you talked about fear, and I got so intrigued by that. So that's the way, what caused us to meet and segue into today. So I do have a few questions for you. So buckle up your seatbelt because we want to tell people how to break through fear with gratitude. Because I know, but based on the data, that gratitude is such a powerful emotion, a powerful behavior, a powerful experience when we can use it in the right way and make a difference in our lives. So, my first question for you is what caused you to write the book, Gratitude Transform, The Journey from Darkness to Light? Tell us about that.
Well, that's an easy one to answer because it started out as a challenge. The My
Mm,
board of directors sent me a video 2 years ago because I published this book last year, so that was actually
okay.
3 years ago, and they said we want you to write a book and you've got 90 days. Do you accept the challenge? And I responded back. I said, yeah, I accept the challenge. And
Okay.
I procrastinated the first month and maybe even part of the second month. And then when I realized it's got 90 days, I'm running out of time here.
Mm-hmm.
I just hunkered down and I produced it. So the book is really how I got into my gratitude practice.
Mm-hmm.
A number of years ago, back in 2019, I was living in New Jersey,
Oh.
and I was a realtor there, and I was doing all the things that you do as a realtor, and I just didn't have enough. There was more month than there was money, and
Mm.
so I had finagled my electric bill, my utility bill, and it was the wintertime. And then eventually they came around. They were like, "Dude, you need our money," and I'm like, "Well, I don't have it." And they shut the lights off,
Wow.
and I don't know, I guess I was okay with it to some point, but I was also in shock because I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I got to do something different. And
Absolutely.
and so when they shut the lights off, the following week I ran this thing called the New Jersey Power Team.
Hmm.
It was a weekly a monthly event, and every month I would have a speaker come in and speak, and then we would we would talk about whatever they talked about or whatever they were doing. And so that week, that following week, Tony was the speaker, and at the end of the night, he was talking about gratitude,
Mm.
and he started to explain it to me, and I said, well, I would take on that challenge to send you, three things that I'm grateful for.
Okay.
He didn't have any idea what was going on in my life. As a matter of fact, he didn't even
Hmm.
know for over a year. It was almost a year and a half. He didn't know.
Hmm.
Nobody knew really because I was so embarrassed. But
Yeah.
I started practicing gratitude, and I started sending Tony every day something that I was grateful for. The first two things was I was grateful for hot water and scented soap. That's what I
Hey.
sent Tony. Yeah, because my hot water heater in my house didn't work because it needed electricity. It was one of the newer
Mm.
ones. It wasn't an old school hot water heater,
Hmm.
and and that's how I started. And do you know it's now almost I'm in my seventh year
Hmm.
of of writing my gratitude, and I've sent Tony a text every day up until this point right now. So that's what
Wow.
almost 6.5 years he's been receiving a text from me, and I have all
Wow.
those gratitude texts. Now it's more than it's not just two things that I'm grateful for.
Hmm.
It's more like 15,
Hmm.
and and over that time I've probably had maybe about 15,000 unique things that I've been grateful for, which is quite remarkable.
Hmm.
So going back to the book was based on that journey, and it started out and if I tell you everything, well, it doesn't matter. You still have to read it. So
Hmm.
the book was started out where when my sister passed away. My
Hmm.
sister had passed away in 2013. She had a massive heart attack and died at age 49.
Wow.
And how I handled her death was completely different than how I handle death now. But
Hmm.
it started out with that night where I needed someone to take me to the hospital because that's what they told me, have someone drive me. And
Hmm.
it so happened that my ex-wife took me to the hospital. And when I got there, after some conversation, they told me she had passed away.
Yeah.
And so it started, so the book started in that. And so the darkness was not having any electricity, and the
Mm.
light was coming into the electricity. And I had no electricity for 100 days, believe it or not.
Wow.
100 days. And at some point near the end of the 100 days, I did Facebook Live for the first time. The very first one, I didn't check off the right thing, and I didn't save that video, but all the other videos I saved. And I did a live, and
Hmm.
I didn't know that I was actually happy. I
Mm.
It was only until when I was writing the book that I went back and got the visit. I'm like, dude, you're pretty happy. What's going on there? And and so I I was like, wow. And so that same year, after all of the challenges I had and all the hardships that I went through, I had to pack up and move to Barbados. And for me,
Hmm.
it was temporary at the time. I didn't know I was going to be here as long as I have been to take
Hmm.
care of my mom and dad. So
Hmm.
so while I was here in Barbados, I started the daily gratitude movement. First, it started out as and I was afraid when I first started.
Tell
When
us about that fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I was afraid. I was very afraid.
Hmm.
And I talked to Tony, and he told me what to do. And I talked to Amanda, and she told me what to do. And I said, I'll
Hmm.
get back to you. And then I hung up the phone. And I said, what other bullshit is this? And I said, I'm gonna do it. And so I scheduled the very first room, and the following Monday,
Hmm.
Louisa, Tony, and Amanda, we opened up the very first daily gratitude movement room. But back
Hmm.
then, it was just, what are you grateful for? So the movement, the room came first, then the movement came after, and then we became a nonprofit. We were coming up in 3 years in December 8th of this year of
Hmm.
being a nonprofit, and that's the gist of some of the gist of the book. I mean, the rest you'll have to read, but that was kind of how it all started. Was me practicing gratitude, and I didn't know that gratitude was such an incredible thing. I was actually kind of pissed off because I was in my 50s, and I'm now finding out about gratitude and the impact. And I still to this day don't know all the benefits of gratitude. I just know that my
Mm-hmm.
life got better, and that people around me got better. And I also
Mm-hmm.
noticed I've had thousands and thousands of people come through our rooms and part of
Mm-hmm.
our Facebook group. We've got over
Mm-hmm.
30,000, almost 40,000 members, and
Wow.
this was all just really just me just being grateful and even to this day, and I used to send it to more, but I send a text every day to about 50 people every day. I've been
Great. Great.
doing that for since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I also sent to Tony, there were some people I also sent to as well. But
Okay.
Tony has been there consistently.
For 7 years. I love it.
Hmm.
For 7 years. So as you went through all of this, I know you don't know all the results from the data as far as what gratitude, the impact, but you shared about your life and how it impacted you. And I love gratitude. I embrace it. I journal pretty much every day my gratitude. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, part of the day, in the middle of the day, I will just jump in and write it down because it does something for me. Helps me to become present and really to get present to what I have and the lives I've touched and people who have touched my life and so forth. But this past month, yeah, I would say within the past few weeks, I've been talking about fear. And I know when we met at the event in St. Lucia, you gave a definition for fear. And as people are dealing with so much fear and things in the world right now, how would you define fear? And just so people can have a better handle on what it is and how to navigate through those hard places.
Okay. Well, I've been talking about this on and off for a couple of years now. Last year, I did 365 live videos on Facebook every day,
Mm,
one a day, every day, and so these were some of the things that I was talking about. And but the thing that well, yeah, I came up with this acronym long time ago,
mm-hmm,
which is focus energy altering reality. That's
mm-hmm,
focused energy altering reality.
mm-hmm,
And but there was a moment a few months back where I was cutting the grass,
mm-hmm.
and the lawnmower started to act inconsistent to how it would normally act, and I got a little afraid, and I,
Yeah.
I I backed it up and I went and put it up,
Mm,
and it bothered me, um, uh, because where we live, the grass needs to get cut because
mm-hmm,
we have a big property,
mm-hmm.
and I thought about it and I shared it with one of my friends, and she said you should talk about that, and I said
Mm,
okay. I mean, I'll talk about it, but she said you should talk about that, and so at the time when I actually didn't even know that I was going to share what I was going to share, and I didn't know that I was going to be sharing that. I was going to share something else.
mm-hmm.
But when I talked to the promoter of your event, she suggested that I talk about that, and I'm
Okay.
actually glad I did.
Mm-hmm,
So so I realized that sometimes we just get afraid, and we don't
yeah.
even know why we get afraid. We just start to
Mm-hmm,
project all of these things that we think might go wrong,
mm-hmm.
and we create this reality, right? And
That right
inside of
there.
that reality is like all the things that we're afraid of, and it and,
Mm-hmm,
and it exists up here in our head,
mm-hmm,
and so when I realized that about the lawnmower, I just got
mm-hmm.
back on it and I went and finished cutting the grass.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also realized that I do that in other things,
Mm,
and I realized that other people do it in other things. Like you have this thought of all the things that could possibly go wrong.
yeah.
every single thing. And thank God, things don't manifest that quickly in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there's a lot of people dealing with this. You know,
Absolutely.
someone tells you something, and all of a sudden you think, well, that would cause hardship in my life, and this hardship would look like this, or I would be
Mm-hmm.
inconvenienced in this way. But the truth is that it's just something that you need to grow through. It's just a muscle
Mm-hmm.
that instead of focusing on the thing that's gonna disrupt your life, focus on the thing that you want to create. And just so happened, like today, I was listening to a not podcast, but a replay of a
Mm-hmm.
summit that I attended last week, and there was this guy talking about being in a race car, and that the instructor had four buttons on his side, and they would lift one of the wheels up, and the car would go in a spin,
Mm-hmm.
and that the instinct was to look at the direction where you didn't want to go, and the instructor pushed his head into the direction that he wanted to go in, and he
Mm-hmm.
kept doing that a number of times, and I realized that when you have fear, if you focus on all the things that you're afraid of and that you think are going to go wrong, there's no
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to create something new. There's no
Exactly.
opportunity. Yeah, right. So
Mm-hmm.
so I talked to you guys about that, and sharing that idea, that concept of fear. I share
Mm-hmm.
some personal stories and
Mm-hmm.
of when I had these experiences and what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And even to this day, sometimes things will come up, and you think, "Oh man, I got to deal with that," and you've got to shift your focus into where you want to
Absolutely.
go. All right,
Mm-hmm.
where you want to go, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
And I may create a program around it. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's something that we all experience. I do have another book that I am writing that
Mm-hmm.
does cover it in a little detail,
Yeah.
and perhaps maybe I just need to finish that book.
That might be a good first step or next step.
Well, dealing with fear is a can be a challenging thing. But the truth is that
Mm-hmm.
it's the things that we fear most are the things that help us to grow the most.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because when you build that muscle and you realize that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not this person anymore, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
pushing through, it's like you build a different muscle that you didn't have before.
Yeah. And to your
So
point, you feel the fear, but you do it anyway,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And for me, fear, I remember as I think back some time ago before I started doing all of this content creation and lives and all this stuff, I was very fearful to come before the cameras. Like all the ideas and all the thoughts, I was catastrophizing all the things that's going to go wrong. And yes, some of it did go wrong, but I'm still here. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah.
push through it, you know?
That was one of the reasons why I did the live videos. It was actually my second time, so I've done it twice
Oh.
for a whole year. The first
Mm,
time I did it on Instagram, and
mm-hmm,
my topic of conversation was pretty easy. I was, "What are you grateful for?" So every day I
mm-hmm,
would just go on Instagram and talk about what I was grateful for. But the second time that I did it, I
mm-hmm,
would have all these multiple topics. So I've got 365 videos of me talking about different things, anywhere from a
mm-hmm,
minute to 35, 40 minutes just talking.
mm-hmm,
It's and it's funny that you say that, because when you tell people, hey, take a phone,
mm-hmm,
take your phone like this, and put it in front of your face like this,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, are you kidding me?
I know.
I'm worried about my hair. I'm worried about stuff, and I can tell you that in the year that I did that, there were
Uh-huh.
times that I had to do two or three takes.
Yeah.
There were times that I would I
Been
would get
there.
on,
Been there.
yeah, and I'm thinking that I'm live,
Mm-hmm.
and I see myself, but no one can hear me because the mic's not turned on, or I forgot to bring the mic down because I was so
Uh-huh.
excited. And there's times where my glasses were dirty, or I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
see, or there
Mm-hmm.
was so many things that happened. But at the end of the day, I realized that I wasn't really doing that exercise for anyone other than myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that I realized that that's what I was doing, I
Yeah.
stopped worrying about all those little things. And so I got a ton of content
Yep.
that can be repurposed.
I'm so glad that you shared that because I too started, I think, in the pandemic, and I have over 300 and something videos, maybe more, on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube because I just started just do it and house it, and then I went live and all this fun stuff. And the fear of that, you know, kind of get me, uneasy. But coming back to today I did a recording for a story, something to
Okay.
post in my story, and I had my mic on from a previous meeting, and I forgot the mic, and the mic fell down, and only after I recorded the recording that I realized that, wait a minute, my mic was not really connected. However,
Okay.
it was recorded, but in the past, because it wasn't connected and didn't do what I thought it would do in the past, I wouldn't post it. I still
Mm-hmm.
went ahead and posted anyway. Because at the end of the day, when I listened to it, the content was there. The mic was not doing what it was supposed to do, and it was hanging off over here somewhere. I'm like, we've got to get past the things that's tripping us up. And that's what you're saying about fear. We got to feel it, but do it anyway. Focus energy, altering reality. And
Yeah.
if we focus on that energy, it's definitely going to alter our reality.
Yeah. And the reason I came up with that acronym is
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a matter of what you're focused on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fear is really is your friend. It's your friend and it's your foe. It's just all
Mm-hmm.
a matter of what you focus on because
Yep.
anything you focus on is going to alter your reality.
Yep. Say it again for those in the back row. Fear is
Focus.
your friend.
Yes, fear is your friend. Just focus energy, alter reality. And so when you focus on the thing that you're afraid of,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to bring you closer to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And when you focus on the thing that you're afraid of, it's going to take you further away from where you want to go. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And as we're talking now, kind of looking back and looking in hindsight, areas where we were afraid, look at us now. It's not perfect, but we're doing better at it. So if you allow fear to rob you of continuous movement, then you'll be at the same place next week that you were today.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to push through it. And I mean, I think it's normal to have fear.
Yeah.
And the truth is that we were really only born with two fears.
Tell us about that.
And those two fears are the fear of loud noises and the
Mm-hmm.
fear of falling. And that's what I've learned. Everything else is just kind of, we've made it up along the way.
Mm. Yeah.
You become afraid of snakes because you saw somebody get bitten by a snake, and you're
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want to experience that. And it's just that it's maybe fear is just the things that we're afraid of is just maybe the that we might gonna experience some inconvenience or
Mm-hmm.
some trauma or something, but or we want to avoid pain. So sometimes it's really not fear that we're feeling. This is this avoidance of what could happen if that were
Yeah.
to come about. But we call it
Yeah.
fear. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have just a couple more questions for you. Well, two more questions, and then you can kind of share a little bit about what's going on with your next steps. So, how does
okay.
gratitude help us to break through fear?
Well, one of the biggest things that I noticed since I've been practicing gratitude
Mm-hmm.
is that I don't want to complain as much. I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to say I don't complain. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't do it as much, and I don't want to tell a story about why I want to complain either. So
Yeah.
I noticed at some point while I was writing my gratitude, I realized one
Mm-hmm.
day, man, I just don't want to complain anymore. Because I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I have an opportunity to find an alternative
Mm-hmm.
source or output. So, for example, if I want to complain about something, I realize that I have to stop thinking about all the things that are actually working in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about the things that are working in my life, it is
Mm-hmm.
actually pretty good. And then the other thing is I surround myself with people who don't really tolerate that either.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
They're like, well, what's good? What's good about your life? What's good about the moment? You did that wonderful thing the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that for me, that was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that gratitude really helped me with was dealing with death.
Mm.
Since I've been practicing gratitude, I've lost a few friends.
Mm-hmm.
Some during COVID. My father passed away 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking that they left me and now I'm gonna suffer, I
Yeah.
turned it around and I said, well, what am I grateful for about this person? And then I
Excellent.
focused on all the things that I was grateful for about them, and that
Mm-hmm.
really helped me to grieve differently.
Yeah.
The other thing, being the founder of the Daily Gratitude Movement,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the impact that it was having on people. When
Yeah.
you have something to look forward to, it
Mm-hmm.
changes you.
Absolutely.
When you wake up
Absolutely.
every day,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got something to look forward to, and I saw
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who were as we call them handy able,
Mm-hmm.
and we have people who are visually impaired that can't see a thing that are moderators, and I
Yes.
saw I saw how they felt really good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They would especially when someone passed away, they would come in, they would share about it, and they would be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lady, Zizi. She
Mm-hmm.
was in her 80s. I think she was like 88 years old. She was a member of our movement. She was a moderator. She passed away last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that gratitude really makes you feel good about yourself.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it really does.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps you to recognize the things that you can be grateful for. There are so many more things to be grateful for than there are things
Mm-hmm.
to not be grateful for.
Yeah.
And so if you start to put your energy in what's working
Mm-hmm.
and what you can get, it changes how you think about it. And I would say, in the early days, we would have hundreds of people just waiting to share their gratitude because we
Mm-hmm.
were in a pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
and it was I would say that we are like this satellite dish, but we're not receiving the signal, we're sending it out into the universe,
Yeah.
for people to experience gratitude. So
Mm-hmm.
that was one thing. I think also too, gratitude, as we experience it,
Mm-hmm.
it causes I don't know, in my DNA, or my physical being, it causes me to feel
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yes, it does.
It causes me to feel better, and
Mm-hmm.
because I feel better, I'm able to do that. And
Yeah.
so and then the other thing too is, as I share more gratitude, I start to listen for people sharing gratitude.
Yeah.
And I've
Mm-hmm.
heard almost every single person who has had a lot of success in their life, they're always grateful for something.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Mm-hmm.
something there.
There is something there, definitely. Because
Yeah.
as you were sharing, I thought about someone that I heard several years ago sharing that she went to the doctor
Hmm.
and she was diagnosed as clinically depressed. And the
Okay.
doctor was offering to put her on medicine. And she's like, I really don't want to go into medicine. And she asked the doctor to give her 30 days.
Hmm.
And she said what she decided to do was start to talk to herself in the mirror all the time, counting her gratitude, things she's grateful for. And she started feeling a change in her body and change in different things. Her outlook, she was waking up early in the morning. She started doing things differently. Her attitude was different. The complaining stopped and all the other things shifted. So by the time she went back to the doctor asked her, okay, so what did you do? Because something is different. And she was
Right.
able to
Right.
lean in and explain that all I did was just get up every day, being very consistent, very intentional about what I have, what do I want in my life, and just being grateful for it that I have it already. So the grateful for it that it's coming, just grateful for it, that it's available, just grateful for the possibilities, and just staying in a place of positiveness
Hmm.
around gratitude. And it's shifted. And I've seen gratitude show up in my own life because I realize that when I'm stressed, when I'm worried about this and that, if I pause and to just get to a quiet place, whether it's by the river, by the water, or just in my little chair by my bed, and just pull my journal out. And I try to get nice, pretty journals that's kind of, you open, look at the cover, just invite you, come on in and just write something down. Tell me about whatever you're grateful for. And
Right.
I'm
Right. Right.
very intentional. Even when I find a penny, I'm grateful for the penny. I feel like, okay, God, send me more of that. I'm grateful for the penny because there's more coming from somewhere. And just really having that attitude of gratitude really shift my whole physiology about how I'm showing up.
Yes, indeed, and
Hmm.
I see it happen all the time
Yep.
for
Hmm.
people. They might be having challenges, but
Hmm.
gratitude just helps you to
Yep.
to, to bear the challenge in a much better way, and I see people shift.
Yep.
and they are much happier. And even when their life circumstances are not ideal, they still find joy.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know?
the word. I love joy, and that's something I tell people. Joy is so important because you can find joy in the middle of your chaos. But when
Yes.
you think of happiness, happiness is just it moves. I tell people it moves because if this is going well and if something shifts, you're no longer happy about it. For example, like you buy a house, you're excited about it, but then things start to break and fall apart and other stresses start
Mm-hmm.
happening. You're not in the most grateful mode unless you decide to say, you know what, I'm still going to find ways to be grateful for. But if you're thinking about happiness, that thing happening against you shift how you show up if you're happy or not.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
joy calls you to stay centered and to be intentional. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
So as we close out, this is my last question for you. What are you working on currently and how can people connect with you? And I know you're doing a gratitude challenge. Tell us more about that and how we can partner with you on that.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things. I mean, I'm still doing Tony events
Hmm.
as a trainer, and but for myself personally, I am doing a 5 day gratitude challenge starting next week, uh,
Hmm.
and um, and it's my first time doing it, a challenge, and it's really an open invitation for anyone to join me who wants to practice gratitude or just experience gratitude.
Hmm.
And then if they like it, they can continue on
Hmm.
and in the movement. So that's next week, and that's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I'm going to do
Hmm.
that, and I can send you the link, and it's just you have to
Yes.
register because it's on Zoom. So
Hmm.
that's one thing. The other thing is, with the gratitude movement, we are constantly looking for ways to expand the movement and to share ourselves with others. So we're probably going to continue to do some more fundraisers, and we meet every day on Clubhouse,
Hmm.
which is an audio dropping app, and you can come in, any day when
Hmm.
we're there and share your gratitude with us.
Hmm.
And we would love to be able to get on some other platforms. Then
Hmm.
that's what I'm doing for gratitude for myself. I have a couple of programs that I authored this year,
Hmm.
and I am thinking that I actually want to bring some of these to beer.
Hmm.
There's there's you'll like this. So there's this one program that I have called Get Your Shift Together, right?
Hey, I
And
get
I,
it.
yeah, yeah, and currently is designed as a 3 day program.
Hmm.
And so I may rework that to either be a 1 day program or to keep it a
Hmm.
3 day program, where people can come in and through my learnings and my experience, I will share with you
Hmm.
things that you can do to help you to get your shift together. Obviously,
Hmm.
shift is an acronym, but the shift really stands for something else. But it sounded good. So
Uh-huh.
there's that, and I think I just want to continue to educate people about gratitude,
Hmm.
and working with some other folks to help them to get clarity in their life.
Hmm.
I don't coach as much as I used to,
Hmm.
and so I want to. I also have a retreat that I
Okay.
am working on. Yeah, I have a retreat that I'm working on, and I don't have exact clarity on the date yet, but it's all
Hmm.
created, and we're going to put that out there again,
Okay.
to see how that goes. And so those are the things that I have, and I'm kind of starting to be semi-retired.
Okay.
Or and also I'm getting more involved in AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, AI is something I'd like to speak, and so I think I'm going to do more videos, not
Hmm.
necessarily lives, but
Hmm.
more videos talking about the things that matter to me and maybe matter to other people, to put that out there, to create awareness. So those are some of the things that I'm up to, and hopefully get to do more speaking engagements.
Okay, great. So definitely keep us posted and share with me all of those links and stuff so that I'll put it in the description, in the show notes, so folks can get it. I know Tony did something, I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, on
Hmm.
with AI and stuff. And AI is the way things are at. So I'm glad that you're getting into it. So make sure that you're also staying connected so I can learn from you.
Yeah, well, I've been using it. I've been using it now for about 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm definitely not a pro, but
Mm.
it does help me to save time, and
Yes.
it's definitely made some of the work that I
Mm-hmm.
used to have to do that was difficult. It has made
Yes.
it quite easy.
That is so true. I've been
Yeah.
using it myself, and at first I was a little timid, because when you don't know that unknown, when you really don't know. But as I started to do it, because I was doing this mastermind, a 12-week mastermind,
Hmm.
and all the work that was involved, just really understanding all of the pieces. I'm like, it's going to take me forever. And someone showed me how to use AI to kind of capture my 12-week year to capture that as to how it can look. And that was a game changer. So I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it's. I think we're at a point
Uh-huh.
in this world where there was life before AI, and there's AIs coming into being, and so
Hmm.
we're going to be a unique group of people because after a certain time, it's just all AI. So it's a good thing to learn, and so I think as much as you can know about it, do
Hmm.
yourself that favor and find out as much. So that's what I say.
And that's good, because since we talked about fear, this is not something to be afraid of, because the way to combat your fear, especially around AI, is to learn more about it. See how it can help you, see how it can work, and not let the fear, of that stand in the way.
Yeah, it's just changing. We're just changing how we get things done.
Yeah.
Think of it, and I'll say this because
Hmm.
think of like right now with this interview that we have, we
Hmm.
didn't have this ability like years ago, like
That
20
is
years
true.
ago. We didn't have
That
this
is true.
ability, where
Hmm.
you could get on a computer or a cell phone and have
Hmm.
a conversation with someone, have it recorded, and then post it somewhere.
Hmm.
You needed a studio to
Yep.
record all these things. You don't need a studio anymore. I mean, it's and you don't need that perfect lighting or anything like that either
Hmm.
because the software compensates for it. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
I've got some big lights here, so it's pretty bright. I mean, if I turn these
Hmm.
lights off, it would be jet black right now. But
Uh-huh.
the software, the technology, and all
Yeah.
that stuff has made it so that we can do things. I wouldn't have been able to start the gratitude movement if I didn't have cell phone technology, because
Yeah.
our users come from all around the world.
Exactly. And to
Yeah.
your point of being all around the world, you're in Barbados, I'm here in the US, and
Hmm.
it looks like we're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of
Yeah. Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
outside of our backgrounds, of course.
Well, but even then, you could fix that. You could
Hmm.
you could have the same
Well, that too.
backgrounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's just
Hmm.
so many things that you can do,
Hmm.
and I love technology, and when I was a child, thinking of what I was able to do
Hmm.
then compared to what I can do now is like night and day.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So as we say goodbye to our guests and those who will watch this video, any parting words that you want people to remember about breaking through fear with gratitude? Anything else that you want to say to them?
I would say see yourself where you would like to be
Hmm.
and just focus on that and move forward. It is there are so many things or reasons that we can be afraid of stuff and like I said it's just focused energy and it
Hmm.
it, 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 it it can alter your reality, but the reality is
Hmm.
that you can also shift and you can focus on something else, and that will alter your reality too. So maybe it's not fear that you're feeling,
Hmm.
maybe it's something else because people have for years face everything and run,
Hmm.
but maybe it's not face everything and run, maybe it's just shift your energy and focus on the
Hmm.
thing that you want,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
absolutely.
you can actually receive it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
So thank you again, Garth, for joining us today. We so appreciate you blessing us with your presence and reminding us of the importance of gratitude. And for those of you who connect with me, I am Shelia Malcolm, your executive life coach strategist. And Garth is not coaching, like he said, but I am still coaching. And if you're struggling with fear, fear of success, fear of failure, or any one of those nuances or things that's getting in the way of your success, I need you to reach out to me. I'm also going to put my 15-minute free coaching connection so that we can see if we're a good fit, because it's no longer the best thing to stay in silo and struggle alone. If
Mhm.
fear is getting in your way, let me help you. Let me join you on the journey so that we can get you into the place of thriving so you're no longer surviving. All right. Thank you, Garth. Have a great afternoon, morning, evening, night.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Okay.